The last time we had our cursed black SE30 out, we installed what is quite possibly the rarest upgrade in the world. A beautiful hand-assembled clone of the Carrera 040 accelerator, which took this already snappy machine from 16 MHz 68030 up to a whopping 40 MHz 68040 with 128K cache. And in fact, this beast is now crammed full of incredibly interesting upgrades for everything from storage to the ROM to audio to Ethernet and that accelerator. But there's just one glaring problem. You can't see them. So today, let's fix that by installing the most beautiful modification that I've ever seen. This transparent blue MacEffects case. And while we're in there, we're going to give this some killer audio too. So stay tuned. This is the MacEffects Transparent Blue SE and SE30 replica case, and oh man, is it beautiful. Now, if you've been here for a while, you'll remember that we were actually sent the wrong one of these a couple of weeks ago. Clear instead of blue, and while that one was beautiful, I really wanted to keep the black and blue aesthetic that we found on the cursed Mac originally. Well, MacEffects took care of us super quickly and not only sent me the correct blue case with a prepaid return label, they also generously sent me this ADB mouse, also in transparent blue injection molded plastic, and yeah, both of these together are quite beautiful and well worth the wait. So what I plan on doing today is using the transparent blue rear case in conjunction with the black front case here, which I think is going to have a really cool effect, especially because on the stern recommendation of Jay from House of Moth, I'm going to put some lighting in the case here, shining backwards, which I think is going to really illuminate the cards in here because there's some really cool stuff and I'd really like people to see details like the Bullmac logos on the accelerator through the side, and it'll be great to see that stuff without having to take the back off of this machine. All right, let's once again crack this thing open. So the observant among you may have picked up on a small clue that I've recently acquired a 3D printer. But this skull volume knob, while a bit tacky, isn't the only thing that I've 3D printed. In fact, I'm quite excited to have designed this mounting bracket, which is designed to mount this small yet beefy shielded speaker that I've liberated from this small bullet Bluetooth speaker, and I intend to mount right here because this is like the perfect size to come out of this hole here, and this bracket is going to kind of usurp two holes in the chassis, and then I just have to hook the speaker up to these two wires here that are connected to my audio amplifier, and yeah, this speaker, I've already tested it, sounds great. Oh, and I'll post a link to the STL file for this little bracket in the extremely unlikely case that you have a tiny little speaker of your own that you need to mount in the corner of your own SE30. All right, now we have to take this entire thing apart, at least all of the boards out, to get this bracket in place. Okay, so here's the bracket, and the little speaker just clips in and fits snugly in this little bracket here via friction and the top and bottom clips here, and there is no room for wiggling or vibration once it's in there. And then we'll just need to solder on the two wires here for sound. All right, not the best thing I've ever soldered, but it'll do the trick. So now this is going to fit right here with the speaker kind of playing through this hole here, and we're kind of usurping one of the chassis screws into the front case, and then using this little unused hole right down here. And this should fit, if I've measured everything correctly, it should fit perfectly. And yeah, it looks like it does. All right, there we go. Sound system in place. And that's pretty secure. And we're all soldered together, so let's put the rest of this back together. All right, well, let's crank up the skull volume, give it some power. Hey, that speaker works great. Wow, that's loud. All right, screen is coming up just fine. Booting into 8.1, and of course, I didn't put the accelerator in again, so this is just booting off of the 16 megahertz 68030, so it's going to take a little bit of time to boot up. All right, so let's just go into Control Panel and play some sounds. All right, well, audio is a little bit choppy because I guess the processor is pretty slow for System 8.1. All right, let's try a little bit of the trailer for Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Not enough against their shields. Study the warp speed in 30 minutes and we're all dead.
Wow, that speaker actually sounds fantastic. And it looks awesome inside here, fitting perfectly in that hole, and there's no vibration or anything. The only distortion comes from, well, this running at 16 megahertz is not exactly great for playing video. Okay, and now let's talk about lighting. So I got this LED strip here, which plugs into just a standard Molex connector, and that's why I have this Molex sitting here in this little clamp, and this is one of two Molexes coming off of the motherboard. So one Molex is running audio and the other Molex is going to run the LEDs, and this is sticky with 3M adhesive pre-applied, and we just have to figure out where to put it so that it's not really in your face, but right here and along the side is where we want to really light up. Because the processor card with the upgrade and the cool stuff, Bull Mac and the logo and everything, that sits right here, and that's what we want to illuminate. So we can cut this strip to fit, but we don't have a lot of room to work with, and I really wanted to put it on the black case, but I'm not opposed to sticking it on the blue case itself. Why don't we put that blue case on and get a feel for what this is going to look like? All right, so this is what we're going to look like. That's awesome. Check that out. That looks cooler than I expected it to. That is like the perfect shade of blue. And now it really makes sense with this blue CD ROM drive that's been kind of controversial, with probably half of you liking it and half of you hating it. But I'm on the half that likes it, and I like it even more with this awesome blue case. And man, that is just the right amount of transparent. This is like some kind of alternate universe iMac that came out 10 years before the iMac did. Just check that out. That's so cool. I'm so happy with this. But yeah, let's see where we should put the lighting. Why don't we lay the lighting somewhere in there where it could go and see how it lights up our area that we really want to be able to see. Okay, so I think the most likely candidate for position is right in here, shining this way, kind of across the accelerator, and we can cut this down to size so there's only a few LEDs there. And we also have control over color, so probably white would look cool coming through here, but yeah, we have all kinds of colors. We can go crazy if we want to. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see what it looks like with the back case on. I do wish they were kind of hidden a little more. I think they're a little too obvious right there. But we can turn the brightness down and have them just kind of a subtle glow. Oh, whoops. Don't want that. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I like that we can control it from outside with this controller here. Let's see what some of these modes do. That's very like radioactive look. I kind of like that. We can adjust the speed. Maybe get like a nice slow pulse. Yeah, actually that's pretty cool. I kind of really like that. From the side, it's like a cool kind of subtle glow coming from the depths of the machine. That's pretty cool. Actually, I noticed that you can see the lights from the front of the screen, so that's not ideal. I think we'll have to figure out something else. Okay, so I thought those LEDs were way too prominent in the side of the case here, and they were kind of very overpowering. So I went back to my 3D printer, and after some fiddling around, I came up with this little bracket here, which usurps these two connections here, which are like standoffs for screws for the back case, and they slide all the way back so they don't interfere with the case, but it hangs right over the edge of the CRT and allows me to put 3 of the LEDs from the strip here. And yeah, I think it works really great. So let me plug this in and show you what it looks like with just these 3 LEDs kind of shining back on the CRT neck. All right, let's turn this on. And there we go. It's a very subtle effect, but if we turn some of these lights off, it's actually pretty good. Kind of just shining down and making a subtle glow over the CRT neck and a little bit of light spilling over onto the Bolmac logo down here on the accelerator card. Let's turn off a couple more of these lights and just get a picture of what this looks like. Yeah, this is actually a pretty cool shot, just with the subtle light from the screen spilling out on the wall and the silhouette of the black case with the 3 LEDs casting an ethereal glow over the innards of the machine. I think that looks awesome. All right, so here we are all back together with our lovely blue back case. And yeah, let's crank up the volume and power this thing up. Okay, and now let's see just how good these LEDs look in the back of the case here with the blue case on. Let's turn some stuff off. Oh man, that looks awesome. Look at that. No longer an overpowering huge amount of light in the back. Now we have just a calm kind of ethereal glow inside the blue case. And we can change up our lighting to different colors. So here's light blue, yellow, which makes a nice cool green color, orange. Yeah, I think 3 lights in the back is pretty awesome. So what's nice is because of the way the lights are positioned underneath the handle here, which is a little bit more opaque than the rest of the case, it's really hard to see exactly where the light is coming from. It just kind of looks like an ethereal glow coming out from over top of the CRT neck itself. And yeah, in red, that's a really cool glow. Yeah, very cool. And you can't see the LEDs unless you really get down on the side of the machine and look in the side of the case. But even then, it's not overpowering like that huge strip along the side of the machine was. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. I think it looks awesome. All right, so that'll do it for these glowing Macintosh shenanigans. And I am so impressed with how this MacEffects blue transparent case looks. It is absolutely beautiful, and paired with just 3 LEDs on a strip kind of hidden up above the CRT neck, I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So I hope that someday, very soon, you can see this Mac in person. In fact, I'm currently tentatively planning on going to VCF East here in 2021, which is going to be in October. So check out VCF's website for more details on that. And there's a fairly good chance that I will see you there with the cursed Mac and some other machines as well that you'll have seen on this channel. But if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more Macintosh shenanigans like these, Please subscribe down below, and thank you very much for watching. And a special thanks to Dirk, Justin, Chris, Greg from RutK Mods, Sorta Eclectic, Spike, and Connor, who are my highest tiered patrons, and all of my Patreon supporters who help make these videos possible.